Hello, folks out there. This episode of the podcast is partnered by Audible. Greg, you know what I love about Audible?
What do you love about Audible,
I
John?
don't have to pick up a book anymore and carry it around with me. In fact, I carry it around in my phone, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They literally keep thousands of titles right on your phone, accessible at any time when you're driving, when you're cooking, when you're mowing the lawn, changing a diaper, doesn't matter. It's all right there at your fingertips, John. They've got podcasts, they've got lectures, they've got some like health and wellness and like fitness series on there that if you just are looking for something to fill that gap, like you're not getting into a book right now, it's all there for you, man.
If you're a member, Greg, what's cool about it is you get 3 titles per month. The first one, you can pick whatever you want. Like I've said, I'll probably start hitting up some of those health and wellness books. And then what's awesome is they have 2 Audible exclusives. Exclusives, folks. You can't get it anywhere else.
It's true. That is very true. So if you guys want to get on the Audible train, you can go to audibletrial.com/JATG. That stands for Johnny and the Greg. Hook yourself up with a 30-day free trial. No promises, no nothing. If you don't like it, which I can't imagine you're not going to like it, you can cancel at any time. But the great thing about that is the books you get during your free trial, or if at any time, those books are yours. Like you get to keep them. You can listen to them nonstop, anytime, all the time.
Sounds like a deal to me, man. So if you guys are smart, like I know you guys are, because you already listen to this podcast, sign yourself up, guys. What do you got to lose? It's 30-day free trial, and it's books, it's knowledge. Gotta drink it up.
It is. It is. So one more time, it is audibletrial.com/JATG.
Happy holidays, Greg, and everybody
Hey.
else out there listening. It is what, Greg? 12 hours till New Year's, right? If this comes out on a Thursday? No.
Yeah.
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 That's
I
how
guess.
this works. So if you guys are lucky enough to listen to this before the New Year's, welcome to Johnny and the Greg. Greg, how was your Christmas?
It was good. It was busy. Like kind of peopled out a little bit
Me
right
too.
now. But it was good. It was good. We spent time with family. I spent a little time with some friends for some Sunday night football, and now I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm done with people for about 48 hours.
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
with that.
which is good because I'm actually not working this week. I took some PTO for the
Oh,
first time
sweet.
in a long time. So,
Good for you.
yeah, I'm gonna spend the
You're going to veg?
yeah, yep. I got some video games for Christmas that I'm gonna get into, and
What'd you get?
I got the new Assassin's Creed.
Oh, Valhalla?
Valhalla, yeah, because I've heard good things from my friends that have played it, and I've read some negative things from like other people online. But honestly, I don't like their opinions. So,
Ah.
because anytime you have a game that comes out every year, like there's an Assassin's Creed game every year, and people complain that it's just the same game that they released the year before with a new paint job, and I'm like,
Sometimes that's it.
yeah, and sometimes that isn't. But you know what?
I'm talking to you,
if,
man.
yeah, if the game mechanics are the same, okay. With an Assassin's Creed game, you get a different story, and as long as the story's compelling, that's really all I care about.
Oh yeah,
Like,
good storytelling is always the hallmark of all that.
Yeah.
It should be the ground, the foundation of anything really.
I don't
Entertaining.
I don't play video games for the same reason that some people play video games. Some people play video games for like the competition and the challenge. Those are your big Call of Duty players, things like that. I play video games because I just want to play a movie. Like I want to have that experience. I want to see that story develop, and
Yeah.
that's what I get out of it.
I can see that.
Yeah, and some social aspects, like if I play a game like Borderlands. Sorry, I gotta tweak my internet here. If I play a game like Borderlands with my friends online, then it's just we're experiencing that movie together. as we're playing through the game.
Yeah.
That's why I play. So you don't
Yeah.
play many video games anymore, do you?
No. The one game I always wanted to do, because I'm a huge treasure hunting adventure guy. I love anything that has any type of mystical artifact or any of the fringe history. Like, so I love the Uncharted series. That looked just like a fun time.
That's fun.
But other than that, no, I'm more Madden. That's it. Madden, and I break it out, and honest to God, I break it out, and I think I have Madden I think I have a PlayStation 3 still. And I play the last game that was on PlayStation 3, and I don't care. Like, I don't care if I have new players or not. I just keep playing it and trying to find new ways to do things. And usually, Greg, I pick the Cleveland Browns and see how far I can take them.
Take the Browns to Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I do like I'll get the newest Xbox, the Series X, because it's become more of our entertainment hub. I mean, that I get to play video games on. Like, we stream a bunch of stuff in our house, so we'll watch we just watch TV through that most of the time.
Oh, okay.
So
you stream through there?
Yeah, we do, like Hulu. We do that, and because my TV is pretty old right now. Once we upgrade to a smart TV, maybe I'll do more through the smart TV. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be this year. I think we're going to do that.
All right. Speaking of streaming, a certain movie came out December 25th.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
We're talking about Wonder Woman 1984, and I watched it as soon as I could. As soon as my family left, I popped it in and I watched it. And oh boy,
I went to the theater to see it.
Good for you.
I did, because I absolutely love my local theater, and I don't want to see them go away. So even though I do have an HBO Max subscription, I still said, as part of the Christmas experience, my kids love going to see movies on Christmas. That's kind of a thing. They're like, can we do this every year? Sure. As long as there's movies around to go see, we're going to go see a movie every year. My tinny? A little bit.
No, I don't think you're tinny.
Okay. So yeah, we went and saw it. So thoughts on the film?
Yeah. Let me hear it.
I'm going to give it a giant meh. That is my overall feeling. I think I need to watch it again, because my expectations were super high.
Really?
Yes, they were.
It's funny. You would think that at the age that we're at, the heartbreak we've actually gone through before, and then when we get pleasantly surprised with the first Wonder Woman, and then we move it, you think we'd still have this. Yeah, well, they could mess it up.
Yeah, the cynicism, could still be there.
Yeah, but still, that kid in us will not allow that expectation to go away.
It's not just that. For me, the first Wonder Woman, I thought was a good film. The villains, I was a little iffy on, but it had this kind of inspiring section to it. Like, when she was just kind of this
naive.
Naive kind of piece. And when she charged, that whole scene through No Man's Land.
Oh, awesome.
And you're where she's like, no, this is why we're here. This is who we're fighting for. And they, defend the village and everything. And you're like, wow, that was really cool. And
what was really cool about that, and not a lot of people hit on that part of that movie, was when there was a perfect opportunity there where she could have sat there, looked at the camera, and said, where he's like, no, that's Diane. That's No Man's Land. No man can survive up there, right? It was tailor-made for her to look at it, and all those women, right, people to go, well, I'm a man. And they didn't go that route. And that was by a female director, and that was by her choice, and that was awesome, because it wasn't about male or female. It was about doing the right thing.
Right. Yes.
And that's what I loved.
That was cool.
Yes.
It was a great movement, a great moment. I still get goosebumps when I watch it.
Me too.
And so that set my expectations for the sequel higher.
Right.
And I know a lot of people didn't like Aquaman, but I liked Aquaman.
I liked it. It was a good adventure. It was
a popcorn style adventure film. Yes, there were some bad scenes in there, but I'm like, I can forgive those for the overall film. 84, I think the villains were not great. Pedro Pascal was just way overacting like the entire time.
Oh, you didn't like his performance. I don't
No.
know a lot about Maxwell Lord. And even if I did know a lot about Maxwell Lord, it seems like Disney films will take they'll make their own version of Maxwell Lord to fit the story.
Yeah. This is
So I
Warner
don't
Brothers, but yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't know. So did he fit what you know about Maxwell Lord or not at all?
No, not at
Okay.
all. Not at all.
Is that the problem you had with it?
Yes, because
Okay.
Maxwell Lord, like in the comics, he is a super powered person,
Yeah.
but his powers are not real big. Like he's not like, in terms of powers, he wasn't like super powerful, but he had kind of like this power suggestion that could make people like a mind control
Like the
kind of
Purple Man
thing,
from Marvel?
but not that powerful,
Okay.
like seriously underpowered. And
Okay.
so, but he was able to kind of work his way through. Like he was first introduced as like an attaché to, I think, Justice League Europe or Justice League International,
Okay.
and he was just like a business guy. He was like
Yeah.
their PR person. And then eventually he got to the point where he was the head of the organization called Checkmate, which is like this giant
Shield.
espionage.
Shield,
No,
right?
yeah, it's the kind of Shield-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who killed the Blue Beetle. He killed Ted
Mm-hmm.
Kord
Mm-hmm. I
because he
remember
had a
that.
gun to his head. He's like, "This is what's going to happen, and this is going to do it." And Ted Kord was like, "Kiss my ass," and so he shoots him in the head. And you're like, he was this ruthless,
Yeah.
eventually, kind of this ruthless guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, awesome. And in the comics, Wonder Woman killed him. Like she
Yeah.
broke his neck. She
Broke his neck.
gave his
She
head a
didn't,
180.
and when we say, yeah, it's 180, she turned it around.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of
like
people don't
if
know that about Wonder Woman too, is she's a vicious
well, she's
woman in the
yeah,
comic books.
she's
Yeah.
like an Amazon princess. I mean, she's a soldier. She's a warrior. She's
Yeah.
not afraid to kill people,
Right.
especially when they deserve it, like this guy did. I mean, kind of along the lines of the film, he's holding the world hostage
Mm-hmm.
because he's got Superman under his control. Like he figures out ways to like amplify his powers and blah 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 blah. And Wonder Woman's got him, and he's like, "There's not a damn thing you can do about it." She's like, "You're right." Or she's like, what would it take to you to not have control or Superman?" He's like, "Kill me." She goes, "Okay," and
Yeah.
like just snaps his neck, and they're like, "Oh my god, you did that."
Okay.
He's
So
like,
yeah. So transferring back to the movie,
yeah,
he was this desperate Ponzi scheme guy. And I don't want to ruin
yeah.
a lot of people that haven't seen it yet, so I gotta be careful about that. But
So, I mean, the whole crux of it with the Magic Stone and yeah, I mean, I think I'm glad I saw it. I'm
mhm.
glad I saw it. Um, like my daughter, my soon to be 16-year-old daughter, loved it.
Oh, okay, good.
She thought it was a great film. She saw past like the kind of the shitty acting and the story plot holes and the bad CGI. She saw past all of that
Okay.
and focused on like what I would consider to be the heart of the movie,
Okay.
which is Diana's relationship with Steve and
Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
developing her as a character from being naive to living in the 80s, kind of the height of the gimme gimme type culture,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is I think the movie had to take place in the 80s to complete that storyline.
Yeah.
And yeah, she loved it. So I happened to see it in the theater with another couple of adults that I nerd out with. They just happened to be there at the same time as me. And afterwards, he and I were both like, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's
Yeah. I thought it was fine. It was fine.
just fine. Yeah,
Just fine. Am I going to buy it? Nope. Am I going to watch it again? No. If it turns on TBS while I'm vacuuming the house, am I going to shut it off? No. But I'm
Yeah,
not going to
it's
stop what I'm doing to watch. Oh, that's that cool part. Actually, that's not true. The only part I thought was really awesome was the convoy in Cairo. That action scene during the Cairo. I was cool. I was cool with that. It brought me back a little bit to Indiana Jones. So that's what pulled me in because that really
Yeah, the
pulled me
tank
into that
scene from
direction.
yeah.
Now, I always judge movies by honestly how Ursula judges them. Um, and there's some pitfalls there, and you and I know the history of Ursula with Sahara versus Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we won't go into that. But for the most part, when it comes to these comic book movies, they're trying to get her, not me. They've already got
Correct.
yeah, right. So, and I can easily talk myself into liking something simply because I know the history of what this character is, and
Hmm.
it's comic books, and in my opinion, the more comic books are successful in movies, the more you're going to see them, and the more they're going to take chances on things, and so I'm cool with that. She had some great points. Her point was she loves the golden suit. She said, you need to find a Reface app for that and get me on there because I need to see that. And I will pay whatever I need to pay to cosplay that. First time she's ever said something like that. So I'm like,
Oh my.
cool. All right. I'm online. Anyway, she loved that. She loved the lasso, how she uses her lasso. She liked that part. I didn't mind that either.
Yeah.
Here's where the plot was the wishing like we didn't understand that. We didn't understand. We couldn't connect certain things. We were like, oh, how does this work? How does this not work? How is Steve there? Is Steve doing a quantum leap thing? What is this? What's going on here? Like, and that kind of, I think when you sit there throughout the movie trying to piece together things instead of just being part of the ride,
Right.
that's where you can lose some people. So at the end of my
Well,
day, it's fine.
the piece together thing, I think it depends on the kind of movie you're watching. If you're watching Tenet, which is a fantastic film,
I gotta see that still.
you're expecting to have to piece things together.
Yes,
You're
yes.
expecting to solve a mystery.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Murder on the Orient Express,
Yes.
Murder on the
No. You're right.
Pacific.
Yes. Yes.
But in
Correct.
Wonder Woman, no, just tell me. And they tried. They're like, oh, this is this one goddess that grants wishes, but then also takes something back.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to go into that a little bit more. Like when
Well,
she saw the language of the gods, I'm like, ooh, what's that going to tie into?
yeah. I think it's somebody when somebody has to explain the plot through dialogue, it's usually not
Mhm.
a good sign. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, people I say still go see it. Whatever platform you want to. If you're in Greg's corner, which it's not like I'm not in that corner. I can just
Are there any theaters around you playing it?
I don't actually think there are
I mean,
at the
that's the other big question.
at this time. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, if you guys get a chance to see it, see it. Make your own make your own give your own judgment to it. So um couple of things I want to go through. I don't know. I'm usually slow on this internet uptake, but there is something that you and I might have discovered the exact same day, maybe, or maybe you saw it a couple of days ago, or
Maybe.
it's this thing with Twisted Tea where this guy, this huge dude, or not he's not huge.
He's not huge. He looks
He's not
fit,
huge.
but
He's just you can just tell if he's gonna if he's gonna slap you, it's gonna hurt. Um there was this guy at a convenience store who is like daring this other gentleman to smack him. And he
the
drops
the
is he
clerk.
holding yeah, is he
The,
holding Twisted Tea?
he's got it in his hand
Yeah.
and he like flips it around and drops it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he was getting ready to smack the guy
It looked
with
like
it
he was
to
getting ready
begin
to,
with.
for sure.
It did. But then he kind of fumbled it and it dropped. And as he's picking it up, the guy who's like, smack me, like kicks it away.
No, he tried to kick it. He missed the kick. The guy grabbed it quick and just
And as he kicked him,
smacked
he's
him
like,
with the D.
don't get this thing, like, get this, something to fuck away from me or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the other gentleman stands up and just haymakers him with the can and just smacks him.
Yeah.
The can explodes. The guy falls down. And I'm okay with all of this.
Me too. Me too. To me, That's good old fashioned. You get what you fucking want. You get what you deserve there. You did.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, there's a certain that's like, I think if there was more of that in the world, there'd be a lot nicer people out there, or at least more
Well,
respect.
yeah, it's like my grandfather used to say, like, there are certain reasons that you are totally justified to knock somebody out. I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
yeah, and that guy who was just acting up in public,
Mhm.
giving the convenience store clerk a hard time,
Yeah,
and he's like from behind plastic, like a shield saying, "Come out here and smack me, come out here and smack me." All right, yeah, if you want somebody to smack you,
yeah, he
someone
did it.
someone there will do
So
it.
if you guys get the chance, look it up. I think it's called the Twisted Tea Slap. Is that why I'm seeing in memes everywhere now? Twisted teas are like loaded in bullets with John Wick. Is that why I'm seeing all this?
Oh, it could be. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I would
so I
think
couldn't
so.
understand and all this Twisted Tea stuff until I saw. I think our friend John Faust posted it, and I was like, "Oh, this is what it's about."
I tell you what, I saw it. I saw it on Reddit
Okay.
last night. I think late
Okay.
last night. I was
Yeah.
surfing Reddit. I saw it on Reddit, and then I woke up this morning. My brother had already sent it to me in a message.
Yeah.
With was he the one that I can't remember? I think it was Faust. Then posted it
Yeah.
with the Dave Matthews song along with it.
Yeah. The what we're talking about, folks, is the slap that corresponds to beats of the
Yeah.
Dave Matthews
Dun,
Band. Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And I really I really want to know. I want to know the story behind it. Not
Yeah,
so
that's what I was
much.
going to do. I was going to do. So anybody listening out there that knows this gentleman, DM Greg or I at where, Greg? Johnny and the Greg, right?
You can email us or you can catch us on Twitter. John is what are you doing the Twitters
I
yet?
know. You're in
Not
charge.
really.
You're in
Yeah,
charge.
so you can get us at Johnny and the Greg. Or no, it's at Podcast Angel because that's what is our first
Right.
Yeah. So at Podcast Angel, or you can get me at Greg underscore the pull box.
Yeah.
Because I'm still using that one. But
Um. Yeah.
I want to know the aftermath because the guy popped up pretty quick after getting jacked in the face with a bottle of tea that explodes everywhere, and I'm kind of searching now. I want to know if he decided to step up to that guy again and how that all went.
Yeah. I'd also like to have the guy on that took the Twisted Tea to a whole new level, and it
Yeah.
will live on in meme history for the rest of its existence. I want to talk to you, and I want to congratulate you because I'm still
Yeah.
laughing at it.
Well, and
Because
let's
it's
be
a good
honest,
belly laugh too, man. Because it makes you feel like, good, that motherfucker deserved it. Good for
he
you, sir.
totally did.
Yeah.
And the other piece here is the real winner is Twisted Tea.
Yeah, that's true.
And because they are getting nothing but free hashtags. And yeah, I like Twisted Tea. That's a good summary alcoholic beverage for someone like me.
All right. Here's one thing that people, if you're watching, the three people that watch our YouTube channel, maybe notice that I'm wearing a Buffalo Bills hat. The reason I'm wearing this hat is because I found this when I was cleaning out my closet because I used to have this habit of collecting almost every NFL team's hats. Because
That's true.
if I liked it, I would just buy it and put it on. But I came across today. Have you ever heard of the Bills Mafia? It's the
No.
Buffalo Bills fan base. They're called the Bills Mafia. Okay. Now,
Okay.
right now I'm in this recruitment mode where I'm looking for my next team because I don't
Oh
care if
yes.
they're
Yep.
going to the playoffs or not. It doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I came across this on ESPN that the Bills Mafia, now what they were known for in the beginning, okay, was watching the Bills, drinking beer, and breaking tables. They would jump up on porta potties and they'd jump and break the table, or excuse me, or wherever they were, they would jump up on something higher than the table
Come
and
down on the
smash the
table.
table. So it became almost this, you guys are idiots. And I think somebody along the line, and maybe I'm getting this wrong, so if there's any Bills fans out there, please let me know. Um, but what's cool now is they've turned it into this organization where it's become this movement. And this is how cool the movement is, okay? He says now the Bills Mafia is no longer about basically breaking tables. It's about love,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. I think
Okay.
there's more love's needed in this world. Anyway, this is some guy, some reporter from Chicago wrote that the Bills Mafia is the stupidest like fan base ever. Now, how do you think most fan bases will respond to that on Twitter or once they hear about that? You can only imagine, right?
Yeah, kind of. No, we are.
All right. Living true to the statement that they're all about love, they found out who that guy's charity was and donated thousands of dollars to that guy's charity.
Nice.
And they do this all the time. They Josh Allen, who is their starting quarterback now, and dude, he's awesome. His grandmother died, and they've pulled together about $1 million towards a charity he opened up in his grandmother's name.
Wow.
So it's awesome. It's a cause I can get behind.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
how many fan bases do you know that if you make fun of them, they pay you back with kindness?
Not many.
Right?
Raiders fans won't do that.
So I'm rooting for the Bills the rest of the season, and I hope they beat the Kansas City Chiefs and make it to the Super Bowl. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't think they will. I think Kansas City's still Kansas City. I think your Packers have a real good shot at Kansas City. I also think New Orleans has a good shot.
Excuse me.
Your Packers looked really good yesterday against a team I thought they would struggle with.
Yep, playing in the snow. I enjoyed that. I think it was that halftime. They showed like the math board of here's how every team, the percentage, what needs to happen for them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I love how every fan base you talked about, like they had the Browns on there. This is how the Browns make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And like whatever team you're like, if they're out of it right now, you're like, it's not going to happen. They're like, well, here's the math and how who needs to win, who needs to lose. This needs to happen on the fourth Tuesday of the month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
To get them into the playoffs. And everybody's like, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yep. Absolutely.
And everybody's just gunning for it.
Absolutely.
Like,
hey, before I forget, and I'm going off topic, but this is who we are. Before I forget, a shout out to one of our old time guests, Josh Howard. He just
congrats, buddy.
Yeah, he just had a baby. I believe it was a boy. I don't remember the boy's name. I don't remember the baby's name. But Josh, congratulations. Welcome to a whole new adventure called fatherhood.
Yep. Along those lines, and again, shifting gears, this is going to take us way off. I took my oldest out driving for the first time today. Holy shit.
Oh, that's what I love about having you as a friend, man. You were about 16 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I can almost read. I can almost like. There's 3 different books too. You have the book of your first, the book of your second, and the book of your third. And they're all different books. Some chapters are similar, but so I can always bounce that off you.
I've learned a couple things already. Like I want to get my kids driving sooner than now, sooner than like when they first get their temps, just because it's like, wow. I mean, and all we did, we went around a parking lot, the high school parking lot, doing laps. Right turns, left turns, speed up, slow down, kind of stuff.
Oh, nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
seriously, it has to be nerve-wracking.
Well, and I remember like first time I went driving, like seriously driving, was with my mom to the grocery store. She's like, I don't even remember taking back roads. I think it was just like head on out. And I'm like, I mean, you're doing that whole thing. And we were doing that in a parking lot. And I was like, okay, yep. And it only gets better. So, I mean, it was literally her first time driving a car. So, but yeah, it's both nerve wracking and you're proud at the same time. And you're just like, hey, you're doing it. You're doing it. We're good. Yeah. We're good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I remember my first time. I consider this my first time. I mean, I did some stuff around the block with my driver's ed teacher. And then I went to go visit my dad that weekend. And my dad, I said, he goes, do you have your learner's permit? I'm like, yeah. Cool, you're driving. And he had me drive in Chicago traffic on the highway.
Wow.
And I've never been more stressed out. I've never white knuckled something so hard. And it was one of those, Greg, it was one of those, get in the left lane, you know, and you gotta follow the flow of traffic, you know, forget the, you know, so he's teaching me how to really drive
Yeah.
versus what they want you to kind of build up to it.
Uh-huh.
And we hit a construction zone where they put those concrete dividers,
Uh-huh.
and you are this close from the
Sure.
concrete. Yeah. Oh my God. I to this day it gives me the chills. Um, I don't think I've recovered, but but
Well, I didn't
but
do
that was
that.
my first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew parking lot. Like take her out in the parking lot, drive her around.
Yeah. Get her
And
comfortable with the depth perception and the
you,
speed and
well, just knowing. I mean, you don't drive in the middle of a car. I mean, you
yeah.
drive. I mean, it's America. We drive on the left side of the car. So if you're
Yes.
making a right hand turn, judging where those wheels are,
Yep.
that takes a little bit. I mean, you got
Not
to learn how to do that.
not
And
only
people
that,
freak.
just taking turns and
Yeah, I mean, people freak out just like when you get a new car and it's different, and the
yeah.
accelerator acts a
Yep.
little differently. The brakes
Yep.
are a little bit different. If you ever rent a car for business or something, it's the same. You know, all those little things that we take for granted when we get into a car that we drive every day.
Hmm.
She's doing all of it for the first time.
Yeah, it's an open.
So
It's a whole new adventure.
yeah, I mean, she
That
did
might
good.
be a good Facebook. It's new to her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was nervous, and so I had to act not nervous, even though I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And she did good. I mean, for her first time, I'm like, okay, that's what it is.
Can
And
only build on this. This is good.
yep,
This is yeah.
a little bit of oversteering, a little bit of understeering, a little bit of like, don't drive with both feet kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
but she's got to go through an entire course yet with a professional driving instructor. Like she's got to, take the behind the wheel stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, that's a whole new
they're
adventure.
and they're
Wow.
going to correct all of
Yeah.
that.
Get in
I
the
mean,
car.
that's
Yeah.
I'm offering her what I would say. Well, like when you get here, when that wheel gets to where you want it to be, then you can start to straighten out your turn. So I'm like, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Hope the driving instructor would do the same. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, not only that, I think they've changed a lot since you and I first took the class.
A little bit. I
Yeah.
mean, driving's still driving, and that's the other thing. Like,
Almost
no
don't
one,
overthink it.
no one. Yeah, I mean, no
Yeah.
one's judged on their first time behind the wheel of a
Right.
car.
Right.
I mean, everybody gets better. So,
Right. Yeah.
and everything that we do when we drive, that's just so automatic.
Yes. How many
You got
times
to,
have you driven and gone, I don't remember getting here?
a couple times, yeah, that road hypnotism kind of thing. You're just
Yeah.
like you're on autopilot. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
and even even just like how you turn. I mean, she's doing like the hand over hand and stuff like that, and I'm like, I
Oh,
grab the bottom of the wheel and just like crank it over,
Right.
all that
Right.
shit. You're like,
Well, I remember when I was,
wrong.
I remember when I would, she's right. You go hand over hand when you turn, hand over hand when you're straightening out the wheel. And now I just let it slide through my hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, the car will straighten it out a little bit.
Right.
I mean, you just don't have to. But then I'm like, it's probably not right. I shouldn't tell her that. But
Yeah. You can tell this to your daughter when I think when I started getting very comfortable with driving with my driver's ed teacher. He was in the obviously the passenger side, but on the passenger side, I had a brake.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So as I'm driving, he said, "All right, so you're gonna have to take a left." Now I'm taking a left into a I think it was a parking lot, but cars are coming on and a big semi is coming on. So obviously you're in the left lane taking a left into, and it's not like a light. It's just one of those, you got to wait till your turn to turn over and turn left. So, and if you guys can imagine this as you're listening to me, and if you're watching me, but how I had the wheels here, if you just gloss over the wheels, like if you're basically just, so here's my mouse. If my hand's just going over it, it's not actually gripping it. It looks like if on a wheel, it looks like I'm taking a real fast turn.
yeah,
So I did
yeah.
that. And the guy freaked out, slammed on the brakes because he thought I was going to slam into a semi. And I looked at him smiling like, I had this, man. What are you doing? And if you can imagine that, Greg, in typical Johnny way,
Oh yeah.
I was like, I had this. and that typical Johnny way usually pisses people off more than anything. And he's like, "Get in the back right now. You're done. You may never drive again." He was so pissed. He was so upset. So Kate, yeah, don't do that. Don't. I would
don't piss
suggest
off your
not
driver.
doing that. Don't play any games in the car, even when you start feeling comfortable.
We had a guy who was years past retirement, but the school did, and it was for when I did it. It was we took it in school, like it was a graduation requirement to pass driver's ed, and
Oh, really?
they had a full time. Well, maybe he's not quite full time, but they had their own driver instructor. He was an English teacher at one point. I think he retired from teaching English and then got certified as a driver's ed instructor, and then the district hired him to do that. So, but he would grab the wheel. Like he would reach over and like adjust the wheel for you.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Man, if he fucking touches my wheel, I'm going to yell at him. You don't grab the wheel when somebody's trying blah 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 blah."
Okay.
Sure enough, today she's doing one thing, and I'm like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." I just gotta. I'm like, "Give me that, give me that."
Yeah.
So
It's a fun time. It's also scary, especially if you take it seriously. It's scary.
and I would say like most people learn how to do it, but that's
Yeah.
not true because around here,
Most people.
most people like I live in the upper Midwest in a rural town. Everybody drives. Like
Yeah.
nobody, maybe some people may delay it a little bit or something like that, but sooner or later, everybody learns how to drive.
Yeah.
I'm not in a big city where there's great
Right.
public
Yeah, that's a good
transportation.
point. Right.
I mean, some people can get through life without ever having to do it. That's just not where I live. So she'll be fine.
Something that I've heard, now I'm not sure if this is during driver's education, or if this is just an actual class, but I know up in the UP, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, they teach you survival skills.
Oh, really?
Because the weather during the winter gets so severe that if
Mhm.
you get stuck in your car,
You gotta learn how to.
they teach you how to dig a ditch. They teach you how to like build an igloo. And I think I'm not kidding. I was shocked when I learned about this. They actually, you have to, like, your final is being out in the wilderness in the winter, like, and you have to survive the weekend.
For driver's ed.
Like I said, I don't know if that's all driver's
Yeah,
ed.
I don't know if that would be
Like there would be a survival part in the driver's education up in the UP. That would seem like it. I don't know if that entails all of the survivor.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be. I mean, I've got a friend who moved out to Colorado, Denver, and grew up southern Wisconsin. And when he got out there, he's like, well, "I'm going to go up." Like it was, I don't know, March, something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, I'm going to go up in the mountains. I'm going to go check this thing out." And they're like, "It's supposed to snow this weekend." He's like, "I'm from Wisconsin. I know how to drive in the snow." They're like, no, like
Yeah.
those roads will be closed. I mean, your Jetta's not going to get through." He's like, "What are you talking about?" And like they plow the
Right.
roads. They're like, "No, it's feet, like literal, like 5-6 feet of snow is going to drop. If you go off the road, they're not going to find you. Like you'll die." So
Yeah.
they shut down the roads. No, you can't go. And he's like, "Oh, okay." But then as soon as he reads a couple stories of some idiots that go up there and they're like, "We're totally gonna do it," and somebody gets stuck and maybe they survive,
never
maybe
see
they
him
don't.
again.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that." So
Yeah. No. Yeah. We do have kind of that. I grew up in Wisconsin, so we do have that little. Look, I'm from Wisconsin. Like I've driven in some shit.
when it comes to driving and snow and drinking,
Yeah.
we're all like, "Oh, we're fine. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it."
We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Newsflash, we don't got this.
Yeah, yeah.
There are levels like you and I have discussed. There are levels to everything,
Uh-huh.
even snowfall.
And you're good. You might be good, but
Yeah.
you don't have to be stupid. So
Right. Yeah.
So,
All
yeah.
right, Greg. So we're gonna end this. We're gonna make this a short podcast today, but I want you to end it by telling the boxer story.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, this came up this came up while we were doing the tattoo stuff. It came up off camera. I guess it kind of fits a little bit of a Christmas theme. Did you ever get like underwear for Christmas?
I did, actually. Come to think of it, I did.
Really?
Maybe I
Never?
did as a kid.
but I can't remember anything I got as a kid clothes wise. So I'm sure I got some underwear or something.
For us, stocking stuffers were always
Stockings.
practical.
Oh, okay.
It was socks, it was underwear, it was deodorant. there was standards for the stocking. We would have like a apple as big as your head, an orange as big as your head, a bag of candy, and then it was practical stuff: deodorant, socks, underwear, anything else. A new comb, maybe. I don't know. Kurt had a mullet, so maybe he got a pick or something. Yeah, my brother had a permed mullet. And he was in
Ooh,
middle
he
school.
had the perm mullet.
Like just the back. They would perm
Yeah.
the back of their head.
Business in front, party in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I was a junior in high school, and I took a trip, and I went and visited the campus of Notre Dame. It was just one of those things. I had an opportunity to go visit the campus.
Yeah.
I never wanted to go there. It wasn't something that I was looking at seriously. It was just somebody was going to check out the campus and asked if I wanted to go along, and I said yes. But while we're there, you're like, it's a big school. It's the biggest college campus I had ever visited at that point because I hadn't even been to Madison, and I wanted a souvenir. The only thing that I could get was boxers from the clearance section of Notre Dame. Little green plaid, had a little ND kind of embroidered, I think, on the left leg. And I kept them for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to try wearing boxers. Like, and because we were a pure, well, I say tighty whitey, but I think maybe there were some colors just to differentiate whose they were between dad, my older brother, and me. It was like, you get the red ones, dad gets the white ones, and I had something else, blue or green or something. And I just decided, I'm like, I'm gonna try wearing boxers. And so I did. And I was like, it's kind of nice. I liked that free feeling going on. And so then I went and bought some more boxers. I didn't go all the way down to Notre Dame to get them. I just went to my local whatever store, to the mall or something. And so I started to get like a little, like a 5-day collection, where I could go for a week, then wash them, and then go for another week. And my mom freaked out. Like, my whole family was like, "What's he doing? I don't know. Where does he get these things? I don't know. Where do you get them?" To the point where I remember my mom.
Why is he freeballing? What's going on?
Like my mom was like,
they need to be cupped. They need to be cupped.
Yeah,
she's secure.
She's like, Gregory. Yes, Mom. Have you been wearing boxers? It's just kind of like we're having a talk. This is a real sit down. Like, let's turn off the TV and talk to our son.
Jesus moment.
Yeah. Have you been wearing boxers? And yeah, this is my brother. He's in his freshman year at college. He's not even home. I mean, so I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God, he's rebelling. He's taking drugs too.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even, I swear, like, my parents thought I was gay. Like, they thought there was something. It was just so off base for them. They're like, my mom was just, well, why are you doing this? I'm like, why am I doing what? And she's like, well, do you wear like underwear underneath them and then wear boxers? It's like shorts. And I'm like, why would I? That sounds crazy. Who does that? No, I'm just wearing boxers like as underwear, and I put my boxers on, I put my jeans on, and I go to school. She's just so, well, your father doesn't do this. I'm like, I don't care. Dad does.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I think there comes a point in every young man's life where he just decides what kind of underwear he's going to wear.
Yeah.
And I hit that point, and it freaked my family out.
Yeah, I had a friend that couldn't commit. He wore boxers, but he wore briefs under the boxers. So essentially, he wore 3 pairs.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he did that. I think he wore boxers because maybe at the, when you have to change in a locker room in high school, you don't want to be made fun of because you have tight. I don't know.
Tighty whities or whatever.
Well, here's another thing. Why would you make underwear white?
Right. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some explanation.
Yes,
like
there is an absolute guarantee you won't know if it's dirty or not. But
yes, but I think maybe they just like when we go back to the invention of the briefs, we go back to the invention of the briefs. Maybe they just like too expensive to dye them. We'll just make them. Yeah, maybe they got that online. Look that up.
I am looking it up
because like
why are tidy
I mean,
whitey
like I think like World War II, they were like it was all boxers. Like
Right.
if you were in the military, here are your boxers. There you go. That's what you get. And then maybe somewhere in the 50s, briefs became a thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can only imagine it was the same kind of reaction in the 50s. Like if my grandfather sat my dad down and was like, "Are you wearing briefs, son?" Like you like your boys squeezed up like that? Is that what you're saying? I mean, I don't know. It was the weirdest interchange with my parents. And I was just like, yeah, this is who I am now.
I don't know. There's nothing coming up here. They're called tidy whities because they fit tightly. Well, I know that. I want to know why they're white. Like, why make underwear white? Maybe that's what I should say. Like, why make underwear white?
I want to know when they were invented.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, too.
Well, and like even my brother, who was 2 years older than me, was like, "Why are you doing that?" Like, and I'm like, "Have you tried it? You should try it. It's kind of freeing."
Why white underwear is a good idea. Here we go. Oh no, you're just asking for stains. Restricted. No, there's this. This is 10 underwear fails keep you single. We're not gonna go there, but I don't know. Oh, there it is. Why do people wear white underwear? Oh no, this is a dialogue. I don't get it. How is it possible to keep white underwear clean? Yeah, all I'm finding is how to keep white underwear clean. I just don't understand why you would buy white underwear. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, I'm still looking for. I mean, I've come to Wikipedia undergarments where it's like, holy crap, there's a whole multi-page thing, but it says briefs were invented in the 30s by Cooper's Inc. Sold at the world's first briefs in Chicago. An apparel engineer by name of Arthur Kniebler. Briefs dispensed with leg sections and had a Y-shaped overlapping fly. Company dubbed the design the Jockey, since it offered a degree of support that had previously only been available in the form of a jockstrap.
So guys were wearing jock straps before they were wearing underwear?
I think they would wear
during the war. You think so? During the war?
Oh, I don't know about during the war, but I think they wear jock straps and then put boxers over them, so their boys could be supported.
You think back then it was common when you were getting in a fight to kick the other guy in the balls, or do you think that was considered not gentlemanlike?
Oh, there were rules for fighting. I think there were. Yeah, that was dirty. I think guys still did it, but I think it was.
Speaking of wartime, we watched 1917.
Yeah, I've heard that's a good movie. I like to see that.
Yeah, Ursula wasn't impressed. Ursula wasn't impressed.
Christopher Nolan? Was that Nolan?
No. He did another World War. I think that was World War I. He did Dublin or something like that.
Dunkirk. He did Dunkirk, which was World War II, but still.
Okay. Anyway, 1917. If anybody hasn't seen it, and you are a fan of movies and movie making, you will really appreciate the effort that was put into this movie. I believe I looked it up. There was only one noticeable cutscene throughout the entire movie. Yeah. So I'm sure it hasn't been done like this. I'm sure it wasn't done like this, but they went through pain. You could tell. It's just a marvel because it looks like, Greg, the entire movie, the 2-hour movie is based off of 2 long shots. Think about that.
Look that up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. and it almost makes you feel like you're in a video game, and the video game is like
oh, really?
1970. Not like
a lot of over the shoulder kind of camera work, or like
no,
follow
actually,
behind?
no. But you remember video games? How I think they call this third person, where you actually see the character you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you actually see his back most of the time, and then you can stop at any time and circle around.
Mm-hmm.
Just picture that, but every now and then when there's dialogue, they circle to see the faces and they go back. And then and as the person's walking this way, they'll backtrack, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I was actually in awe of it the whole time. The story isn't that great, but I was thoroughly entertained, and I was blown away by, like, because you've been in, little short movies here and there, and you've done some plays, and the timing and the practice, and just operating a podcast, right? That takes some work, and things have to work perfectly kind of at the same time to make a good presentation of anything. And what these guys pulled is like amazing. I was shocked, and I thought it was a good movie. I don't think it was a fantastic movie. It's not Saving Private Ryan,
Right.
but I thought it was a great movie. I had a great time watching. Ursula wasn't that impressed. I was just like, oh my God, like what these guys pulled off. Greg, you got to watch it within this week. It's not a long run movie. You could actually watch it tonight if you don't have plans. It's
Sam Mendes. I just looked it up. Sam Mendes made it.
Okay. That he took that story based off of what his grandfather told him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he took some liberties, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. And I kept thinking to myself, these guys had to be 18 years old, and what they go through. You're like, oh, that's probably one story out of millions during World War.
Right. Well, it says so the filming took place, blah blah blah, in the UK with cinematographer Roger Deakins and editor Lee Smith using long takes to have the entire film appear as 2 continuous shots.
Yes. Amazing.
So it said appear as. Well, so I wonder, and I was going to ask you this even before I read this, like the way they do some of the CGI or transition shots now.
Yes.
I wonder if, I'm sure they were long takes, but I wonder if it was more than 2 takes.
Oh, no.
They were able to just cut them together.
I'm sure it was. It just seems whoever edited it made it look like one shot, because it's weird. This really isn't a good thing for me, but I was able to keep track of that and follow the story at the same time. Like, did they edit here? Did they edit? No, I don't see it. Like, there were some moments where he's in the dark where you could have done that. That would have been the time to do it.
Okay.
But you'll see what I mean by, you almost feel like you're in a video game. And like, it's a 1917, you're a soldier in World War I, and you have a mission and you are doing this. That's what it feels like. It's so crazy. Some of the scenes, like, and I'm not ruining it for anybody that this is in the trailer, where that plane comes in to the barn.
Yeah.
That's something right out of a video game. Like, I can't say enough to it. Who was the camera guy again, or who was the cinematographer?
Deakins.
Bravo Deakins. That was
Roger
awesome.
Deakins. And it says the filming was accomplished with long takes and elaborately choreographed moving camera shots to give the effect of 2 continuous takes.
Yeah.
So I think probably during those long shots, there were probably some breaks in there that we didn't perceive. But hey, that's cool. I've been wanting to see it. I was waiting for it to show up.
I thought the score was excellent. I thought it was going to be a real heavy movie. Like, you and I talked about Saving Private Ryan in terms of, I still can't watch that because of that death scene of that one guy. I can't get over that. And
I can, but still, I get it.
You don't have a heart as deep.
No, I am soulless.
And but it was awesome. It was awesome. I could watch that again and pay attention to other. I think if I watched it again, I would try to see, okay, they could have probably edited there with CGI. Like, they probably did it right there.
Well,
but
And the only thing since then, like after this movie came out, I watched Extraction, and
Yes.
there's
That
parts in
12-minute
there
scene?
that seem like it is one continuous take, and then we found out it's actually not.
Right.
But the fact that they've edited it together to make it look like it is, I think that's cool.
Yeah. Then you'll if you're a movie fan like I think you are, then I think you'll appreciate the movie more than anything. I walked away really appreciating it. I was like, wow.
How did you watch it? Like, what did you rent
Hulu.
it? Is it
Hulu.
on? It's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay.
I caught it on Hulu.
Well, I
I think
have
I
Hulu.
caught it on Hulu from HBO. Like we have Hulu and HBO together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how we caught it, but I'm sure it's elsewhere. Has to be. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up. I've got time.
Look it up. Let me know. I'm sure. Like I can just imagine a text getting from you where you go, "Whoa." Yeah. So
that was fun.
yeah. All right, man. Last thing we're gonna leave off with. Do you have? I know we've talked about this before, but do you have anything you're gearing towards for the new year besides not wearing a face mask?
Oh, yeah, that's one thing. Really, we're really looking at like how to read, and I'll talk to you this probably offline, but restructuring our basement
Okay.
into like workout to
Oh,
like
okay, cool.
actually be like,
So you take it. You're gonna take your health and fitness to a new level.
eh, probably not to a new level, but maybe at least to a closer back to a level that was familiar at one point.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I
yeah.
suggest something?
Hmm.
Don't even commit yourself for 30 days of January, and it's tough because it's snowy and it's shitty outside. Go for a
Right.
walk. Go for a walk.
Right. Yeah. But
Like
I
a
also
long
want
walk, like 3
I
miles.
want to get my kids doing some weighted stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
for me, that's one thing, but I want to get my kids actually
Yeah.
working out with dumbbells in the basement.
Yeah. I was listening to and I forgot his name. And I shouldn't forget his name because I follow him a lot. But he said one of the best things you can do is what's called, you get up in the morning, you do what's called a fasted walk, meaning you don't get up in the morning, eat, and then go for a walk. You just get up in the
Right.
morning, put on some warm clothes, whatever it's going to be out there, go take a walk. 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever, and then come back, then have your meal. He goes, you'll just feel better. And he's right. Ursula and I have been doing
Yeah.
it all during my entire little hiatus here from work is I've been
Sure.
fasting and then taking a walk every day. And I feel better. I don't know if I look better, but I feel better. And that means something.
Because you even said like put on a backpack with some weights in it or load it up with something. Does that for some reason like will that still work on a treadmill? I don't know why I would think that it wouldn't.
Fuck yeah.
But
Yeah.
because I don't.
That would work. That would work with you just going up the steps 20 times.
Yeah. Oh sure. I just don't. I don't like being cold. Like I don't like layering up and like doing that whole thing. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm
yeah,
too
I don't know.
comfortable.
Something. I'm with you. I should say this. I was with you, but I don't know. I've thrown this mindset on me where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm tougher than the weather. Bring it. What do you got?
Yeah.
And like, because I feel like I'm not going to, I love walking. It's weird,
You
but
live in a neighborhood with sidewalks, though.
that's true.
I do
That's true.
not.
Okay. We have a street and that's always
I'm, wa-
shoveled.
I'm walking on the road. I mean, well, not always because we live in like I said, we live in a rural area, and sometimes plows don't get out here
But
very often.
even then, the fact that yes, I do have sidewalks and that is nice, but you would benefit from walking on uneven terrain. You
I
know,
know,
'cause that takes,
and I'd be in heavier clothes too because
yeah.
I'd put on
So
like
you
the
could almost
boots.
get a pretty good workout in, you know,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway, that's just something I challenge you on. For me, I'm just gonna work on, honest to God, I want to put more love out in there. I know that sounds real fucking hippie, but I want to put more love out there and I want to have more of a stronger positive mindset for when I'm about to lose my cool. So basically I want to have
Yeah.
a steady flow, I think you would call that. Good headspace, steady flow,
Sure.
powered
Sure.
by love.
Love and affection.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody.
All right. So everybody, thank you for listening. Happy New Year. Let's put 2020 behind us. Let's take some good lessons that we learned from there. Let's move forward with some love. And Greg, any last words?
And just as you're going into the new year, don't be a douche.
Yeah, and don't join a cult. So
yeah, those are bad.
Yeah. All right. For Johnny and the Greg, we're out of here, guys. Podcast out.
See ya.